Nobody should be in a cage because of the way they look. I may be what you call a BMW, which is a big Mexican woman, but you know what? I have a heart, and my heart is to serve the community, not caring what race you are, where you come from, what language you speak, because we have blood running through our veins, and that's all that matters. Here he is, right here. That's my son. He made it. So here we go. I present to you Mr. Harvey Oaxaca.
Good morning. Good morning. It is an honor to be here. You know, as an educator, we know that history teaches us a lot of things. One of the things that it teaches us is that a sure way for any organization to fail is when good people do nothing. And the opposite is true. The only way things happen is when good people get involved. So thank you so much for being here. It has been a great morning. You know, we've had a lot of engaging and motivating and just great speakers. So thank you for listening. And now we're just here to determine what our next step is. As Rebecca told you, I am not the original speaker. Mr. Alex Camacho, who is in the immigrant community, Mr. Camacho is man number one. He has dedicated his life to working with immigrants to do it the right way. So he has an intimate knowledge of what all the speakers have been talking about this morning. And he can tell you just exactly why it is important. And little do you know, Baptist Immigration Center, which is on Titus Street, right here in McKinney, Texas. You may not know this, but it is ground zero for immigration here in Collin County because of what Alex Camacho has been doing. So when Alex asked me to come and represent him and share his thoughts, obviously I said yes. But you know what? In a way, you guys are doing the same thing that I'm doing because you are carrying the message to someone else. So thank you for being here so very much, and it is very, very important. So what I'm going to try to do, he's left some notes. And I only pray and hope that I can share his notes and his thoughts with the same passion and love that he carries his business in every single day that he shows up to help the immigration system work around and be legal and do it correctly. He meets with people he and his team meet with people who are seeking legal status and going through the legal realm to get into this country. So please understand how important this is to McKinney and by default to each and every one of us. You've heard over and over again, families need to stay together. We know that. Families need to stay together. So never lose the point of what we're here today. So be with me, bear with me as I try to share Mr. Camacho's thoughts. First of all, he wants us to know that by far, this is the darkest time in immigration history in our country. Never before has there been a government that seems to directly target the immigration community as this current current president and the whole political system doing right now. This is a time when we are able and can, and it's been thrust upon us to take it to the next level. As an educator, one of the things that I'm reminded of is, for one thing, DACA, the DREAM Act, is in limbo right now. And when you see, for those of you who may not know what the DREAM Act is, it's a path to citizenship for young men and women who were born, who were brought here, not born here in America, but brought here to America as little children, and now they are trying to get, they had no, there's no fault of their own or no reason, they're just here. And their hope to get citizenship is through the DREAM Act. And as an educator, when you look into the eyes of those young men and women, the future of our country, and knowing that that DACA is hanging over their heads, it is almost as sad as seeing children being pulled away from their parents at the border. So, and DACA, this administration has put DACA in limbo. So those many, many young men who have done everything that they could to do it right are in a holding pattern. And as educators, what do we tell our young people? What do we tell them? Do the best that you can. This is America. Go for it. But without the DREAM Act, they cannot go anywhere. Another reason, another thing, you've already heard about the political asylum that this administration is taking away. One of them is the protection sanctity of the Hondurans, the people from Honduras. Now that has been taken away, and people from Honduras who come to America to find a legal way to get to America, because as everyone has pointed out, they are not leaving the country that because it's great in that country. They're leaving because it is dangerous. But for Hondurans now, they have 24 months in order, and then they got to return back to a country that they know nothing about. Mr. Camacho has no full hand that those people who are trying to get the process correctly now are being turned down when their petitions have small mistakes on them. They work out the petition, and if there's any mistake in there, their petition is denied. There's an example of one person who put in his petition, they left off the part, the word lane in their address. Everything else was correct, but because they didn't put Park Lane, they denied that petition. That is not right. That is not right, and we need to stand up and understand what this thought, this hashtag families need to stay together movement is all about. It is not just trying to talk about immigration. It is deeper than that. Our president seems to have the idea that, heck, let's just deport them without even seeing an immigration judge. Just deport them. Not good. Not good at all. Section 208 of the Immigration and Nationality Act has been ignored. Section 208 is a law where you can apply for political asylum. That is changing. He is trying to get that away, and then not giving those political asylum, not even letting that process work. And the list goes on and on and on. But like so many of the people who came and spoke before me have so eloquently said, what is happening is inhumane and unjust, and is not who we are as human beings. I understand that there's a lot of politics and everybody has their own beliefs. Many people talk about this happening for years. This has been going on for so long. Not so. The zero tolerance policy was created this year and is carried out this year, and is still as unjust and inhumane as possible. Inhumane, you know the definition, is lacking humanity, kindness, or compassion. The U.S. seeks to claim separating families by taking these innocent children whose mother and father only want a better life from poverty, persecution, and violence is what asylum is all about. With not giving that asylum lacks humanity and compassion. Unjust, the definition for unjust, lacking in justice and fairness. Most people say it's the law. Well, we know it's the law. We try to follow the law. That's what the Baptist Immigration Center does, is do it the right way. But we have laws in place for a reason. But when you deny people the right to the law and say we need to get rid of those bad hombres, we need to protect our country from those who do bad things, shouldn't justify separating children from their parents. It is unjust and just wrong. So a lot of people say, great, I'm excited, I'm ready to go. What can we do? What can we do? Vote. For one thing, with vote. One thing is also just being here. You just don't realize how powerful your voice and your presence is here. Our friend Lori Birch quoted the most popular Hispanic saying in the whole world. Tell me who you're hanging around with and I'll tell you who you are. Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. So true, so true. Is that what we want? Is that we want to continue to do that? Then it's incumbent upon us to raise up the integrity of the person next to us. That's our job, to improve the future. Specifically, there are three things that you've already heard what you can do. Number one, you can get involved and you can support legal aid situations, human rights advocacy groups. One such group is here in this area, and it's called the Refugee and Immigration Center for Education and Legal Services. The acronym for that is RAICES. RAICES. In Spanish, RAICES means roots, the heart of where it is. So if you join this group, you're going to get to the heart of this issue that needs your heart and your soul to get going. All right, so you can have more information about that. You can pick it up right here on this table when we're through. Make sure that you think about that because they need your support. And these are people that are on the front line. We're on the front lines, but they're on the fronter lines, all right? So keep that in mind. Don't tell my English teachers I said that because they may not be very good. All right, we've heard from a lot of political people. So the second thing that you can do right now is contact your representative. Contact them. You put them in there. They work for you. They need to hear your voice. And I'm wishing and I'm hoping that every single one who is in power right now, either locally, regionally, or state, are listening to these kinds of gatherings when the people say, ya basta, which means enough is enough. Let's get it done. All right? There is a number that you can call, and you know how to get in touch with your representative. If you don't know how to get in touch with your representative, just make sure that that you contact one of us, and we'd be happy to do so. And of course, the third one is what you're doing right here. Kind of what you're doing is volunteer. Get involved. Every one of y'all has something to give. You know, my wife is Anglo, and she does not speak Spanish. All right, but what I tell her and what she does very good, she says, "Yeah, but I smile in Spanish." And that is so important because as long as you smile with your heart, then you are valuable to what cause that we have to get done today. So please never forget how important you are. There is need for people who have any background in paralegal, any background in just data entry, or if you can speak Spanish, they need them right now. Get involved, volunteer, so you know what to do. And then, of course, we've already said it before. I don't know about you, but after hearing LaDamian, our representative, isn't that, and then Lori, and then everybody, we can be that people. LaShaden is saying, we are it. We are the ones that listen to that because that's the only way that we can get it done. And then, of course, vote. Please vote. You've already heard it over and over again. If you haven't voted and you're not registered to vote, and you walk away from here not being registered, shame on you. All right, shame on you, because that's the way that we get things done. You show them with your vote. As you said this, we've heard this over and over again. This is not a law issue. This is not an immigration issue. This is a human rights issue. And we need to speak up for those who can't. We need to have a voice for those children who cry every day and every night, like Caleb and his mom, right here just a little while ago. We need to do what is right and let our voices be heard loud enough to reach the border.
Yes, that's right.
Before this morning, while we were getting ready for this, I happened to sit down and spoke with a young lady who was here, and we were talking about why she was here and what was the purpose for her being here. And she said, I just know what's happening here is wrong, and I want to be a part of it because I want to get it changed. That's going to change. She also said this. She said, I'm just lucky enough because I'm the right color. All right? But then that kind of reminded me, if nothing is done, and history tells us this, if nothing is done, then pretty soon you'll be the wrong color. It'll happen. It happens. So we need to stand together. We need to stand together no matter who we are. Todos estamos en el mismo barco ahorita, which means, I don't know how y'all got here, but we're all in the same boat right now. So please understand how important this is. There was another very popular saying not too long ago with the previous administration that struck a chord with the minority population. And because it helps you to know that you are powerful. You know, the Wizard of Oz, and I hate to say this, but teachers always talk about the Wizard of Oz, and y'all know the story, and the whole point of that story is after 2.5 hours and all those commercials, the point of the story is what all those people were looking for, the power that they were looking for, it was within them the whole time. So just the same thing with you. We don't have to go out and get power. The power is here. The power is us. So never forget that. So, sí se puede. Sí se puede, which means yes, it can be done. Sí se puede. We'll meet you at the border and let's hug children because families need to stay together. Adios. Thank you.